Alright, so I thought I already made a video of this, but I guess I didn't. So I'm going to be showing how to open up and disassemble this Lenovo ThinkPad T470P. So this has a messed up screen. The screen, I don't know, it's like stays really dark and then has like these weird vertical line patches, which doesn't really even show up on camera. Anyways, we're going to be taking this thing apart. Technically, we only need to take the battery out, so slide these two tabs to the side. They are spring loaded, so you have to kind of slide it and then push it a little. Slide the other one and push that a little, then you can get the whole thing out. Battery model, I don't know if there's an actual useful model number, but there's these ASM and FRU part numbers there. So 45N1130 and 45N1735. But I would probably just search the laptop itself, T470P battery. Okay, let's go ahead and open up the bottom, though I'm not sure, I don't think I need to do that for the screen, but let's go ahead and take a quick look inside. Okay, so I'm just going to undo all the screws here. You want to keep the screws in order if they come out. The way I do that, I put them flat side down on my desk in the pattern I remove them, but in this case it looks like all the screws actually stay attached to this bottom case, so we're not going to worry about that. Okay, so let's go ahead and get all these screws out. Alright, so you kind of just twist it until it kind of clicks. Alright, so now that we've undid or unscrewed all of them, we're going to go under here. I get my fingernails in there and I push with my thumb on the back, so we're just going to go all the way across. Alright, and you want to double check because sometimes the screws, they kind of stick back in a little bit, so we might have to pull it a little more. Okay, that's all that's coming out. Let's see if we go from this side. You can see this side's coming up pretty easily. I don't know why this side is kind of stuck here, so I might have to unscrew it as I kind of lift, and yeah, that kind of helped. Alright, so we're going to go now from the side here. Oh, and it's popping up. Alright, so now that we got that, we're going to kind of wiggle and lift, and I don't want to flip this over because the screws might fall over, but there's a little foam pad thing here, okay, where the hard drive would go. You can see here there's 2 sticks of RAM. It looks like the customer did some aftermarket upgrades here because usually they don't come with this type of RAM. Alright, this is some Corsair Vengeance DDR4. I don't know what the speed of it is, but you can pull these 2 tabs to the side. You can take a look and see. So you can look up this model number here, I think CMS whatever, and then you can probably figure out the speed of it. And it looks like this is a SATA connector, but it looks like they have some special SSD adapter or something here. Again, I'm not going to mess around with this. I'm just going to kind of show what's inside. It is a little dusty here, so let me clean that up real quick and I'll be back. Alright, so I'm back. Let's go ahead and take this back off. Okay, so cleaned up the fan area a little bit. CPU and GPU are under here, soldered to the motherboard. Alright, then we got the fan connector here. You got the speaker connector here, which connects to both speakers. You got a wire running along to the other speaker here. I'm not sure what this little connector's for. I'm not going to pull everything out. There's another flat ribbon cable here with these flip latches. If you take everything out, then you can probably figure out what's going on there. CMOS BIOS RTC real-time clock battery connected right there. What else? Fans connected right here. There's a flat ribbon cable here for I don't know what. Maybe on some models they have a little card reader instead. Usually those smart card readers. Okay. This thing is supposed to be stuck down here with adhesive, but it just came out. It doesn't really stick. Let's see if I can even make it stick. Nope, it's just gonna fall out. So I don't know, but this cable for the speaker was there. Okay. You got 2 antennas here for a mobile broadband connector, which connects here, or mobile broadband card. I think that's like for the, if you use a SIM card. And then you got the wireless card here, Wi-Fi. Pull up from the tails to get the antennas disconnected. There seems to be a separate board here for this HDMI port, though I'm not sure how it's connected. I think it's usually a pressure fit connection. You got the DC jack charge port connector going in here, and then you got this little cable here, most likely for the webcam, and then this cable with a little flip latch. There's the golden one, and then you can pull that back. That's for the LCD LVDS connector. If you're gonna mess with these cables for the screen, make sure you disconnect the battery or remove the battery and then press and hold the power button for at least 15 seconds before messing with that. By default, you're gonna have to remove the battery to get to that, so yeah. All right, you have these drain holes here and here. Those are for the keyboard. If you spill liquid in it, you don't want to flip the computer over because you want it to drain through these holes. If you flip it over, the water can kind of go in that way, or liquid. All right, there's also a case intrusion switch here, so once you open it, it kind of will know because it has that little flippy latch. And yeah, that's pretty much all that's inside here. Let's go ahead and get to the screen. I think we're not going to need to remove any of this to get to the screen, so let's go ahead and put this bottom cover back on. Okay, we're gonna go with this side first, and then we're just gonna work our way around, pushing it down into place. Make sure it clicks, and let's go ahead and tighten these screws back down. All right, if I didn't mention, if this video helps you out, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. And if it helps you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. All right, if you can't help out that way, it would help a lot if you could watch a few of my other videos and then like and comment on those as well, because that's what the algorithm likes to see. Other than that, we're gonna go ahead and get to removing the screen. I believe this one, the screen isn't very difficult to remove. I got a part from Amazon. If you need help finding a link for that, just let me know and I can find you one. But I'm going to show you what the screen model number is. Okay, so once we get there, let's go ahead and open this up. Okay, so we have this frame or bezel, and what you do is you go from the center and you pull up and kind of push down and in towards the center with the outside. So just like that. Okay, slowly working our way around. When it gets stuck, just be careful, okay, because that means there's a clip there, and you can see it's separating from here. Oh, is that, I can actually, is that a crack? What is that? Just grease? I don't know. I thought I saw a crack in the screen. Never mind. Okay, anyways, we're gonna work our way. You saw I kind of like rotate it like this, but basically same thing, kind of twisting it that way and going down the side as well. If this doesn't come out by itself, you can kind of like wiggle this around and see if you can get it to go. If you can't, then you can kind of work your way from the center and then work your way up and kind of flex this to kind of push that inwards. All right, so there we go. We got the whole top part out. As I mentioned earlier, you want to hold the power button for at least 15 seconds after removing the battery to drain any residual power and make it safer to work on the screen. Right, it looks like they broke some of this keyboard area here. I don't know what's going on with that. And this, I don't know, there's cracks there. Anyways, that's been more than 15 seconds. We're gonna now go to the front here, and this can be a little tricky. Same thing, kind of pulling from the inside or the middle towards yourself. You can see the clips are popping. Okay, just like that. And then we should be able to pull this thing out. Let's see if we fold the screen more flat. Will that be easier? I don't know. Okay, so this side slid out. Oh, okay, this side also came out. This side has like a little protruding thing here. Kind of interesting. I don't know why they did that, but it has that. So make sure to be careful when pulling the screen out that you don't break that. Okay, so there's 4 screws holding the screen in place, 1 in each corner. You can actually see the wireless antennas, 1 here and 1 here. This whole bar, the black bar, and then the copper helps with that. On this one, there's actually, oh yeah, there's also the small antennas here. So there's these bigger ones and then the smaller ones. So these bigger ones are the broadband antennas, it looks like, and the smaller ones are the Wi-Fi antennas. Okay, anyways, let's get all these 4 screws out. Pretty nice and easy to work with. I like these older designs. They're a lot easier to work with than the newer ones. Okay, actually, I'm not sure how old this is, but all right, anyways, we'll go underneath these metal tabs here and we'll lift this up and then we'll kind of rotate this. You want to be careful because there's the little cabling down there. You don't want to yank that and damage it. So we'll flip that over, okay? And then there's a little metal latch here. Let me see if I can zoom in here for you a bit. Okay, there's kind of stuff in the way, so I gotta be careful, but there we go. There's this metal latch. Flip that up Okay, I just get under with my fingernail, and then towards the bottom of the clip, I push on it with my fingernails and pull it back. And there we go. The screen is removed. Screen model number is right there, B140HAN02.4. So that's the screen model number. They do have different compatible screens. This one is matte, so if you want it to look the same or similar, make sure you get a matte screen. This is the replacement one. Okay, there's a cover on top. You can see it's matte as well, but there's this glossy plastic stuff on top. Anyways, we're gonna flip this over. They did use an aftermarket, I mean not an aftermarket, a compatible model, so it looks different, but it should still work. We're gonna go ahead and rotate this over, and we're gonna line that up, and then grab both ends and pull it straight in, okay? You should feel it kind of click in all the way, and then you can flip this latch back down, okay? This will keep it from sliding out, though it's not it's not like putting tension on the screen cable. So actually I've seen a lot of these where it slightly can slide down a little, and then it'll be loose, and that can be enough for it to not work. So keep that in mind. If your screen's just completely black, then that could be the case. All right, we're gonna flip this over now. Line that up. Okay, make sure this cable is not getting pinched by anything or is not in any of the raised bumps. And then we're just going to get these 4 screws back in. And hopefully this screen will work okay, because I'm not 100% sure if it is a screen issue that they were having, because it was showing up very dark and dim. I mean, with the lights off, I could tell that it is getting, what do you call? Like, it is having a backlight. But it was pretty strange that it was so dark and dim. All right. One other thing to note with this screen, there's a gap on this side. So the old screen, I think, had like a bigger like area over there that nothing was sitting on. So it's kind of interesting how they did this. So hopefully everything will work okay when we put the bezel back on. So now that we got this in, let's go ahead and get the battery in to test it and make sure it's working okay. Slide that up and in, it clips in, locks on its own. We'll press the power button and let's see. Is it turning on? Actually, it's not even powering on. I might have to plug it in since we disconnected the battery and everything inside. Let's see what kind of charger. This uses one of those rectangle ones. Let me go grab a charger and I'll be back. All right, back. Got a charger here. Let's go ahead and plug this in. And is it not plugged in on the other end? Because it's not lighting up. Let me see here. It is plugged in. What's going on here? Let's flip this over. I mean, that's weird. The charge light's not coming on, but now it powers on. So, okay, and I see to interrupt normal startup, press enter. Interesting, it's not showing the Lenovo thing. They must have put like an aftermarket or a modified BIOS on here or something. That's weird, it didn't show the Lenovo. But as you can see, it's working, it's starting up. So we should be good. We can go ahead and peel this off. You want to actually go sideways, don't like pull towards you. You want to go sideways so that way it doesn't separate the layers of the screen. Okay, this icon is showing that it's detecting it's plugged in, so we should be okay. All right, and now we just got to get the bezel back on. So to get the bezel back on, let me actually shut this down real quick. Okay, shut down. Okay, so to get the bezel back on, first open this all the way. I guess it makes it easier. Okay, then we're gonna get this side in first. Slide that down. Oh, one other thing, this has these little protrusions that need to go down into the casing. So make sure this goes down in, and you gotta angle it down and kind of push it in at the same time. Okay, and if it's not going, you gotta kind of like pull this up slightly and push this down to flex it like this to pull that extra slack in. Okay, since it's kind of a little bit bigger. All right, and now we can go ahead and try and clip this stuff in. So you kind of want to actually line up this bottom part first. It can be a little tricky but you got to get that in and then click that down. Okay, get that down and then click the side edge in. Same thing. Make sure that the lower part goes flat, and then you can work your way up. Okay, and we'll work our way up there. And we're pushing on the outer edge to click it in. Okay, just like that. Once you get that all clicked in, you can work your way towards the middle and click those in as well. Okay, so that looks good. All right, the tricky part here is this. I don't know if you can, okay, let's see if I can show this. So if you look here, you can actually see these clips, and what you gotta do is you gotta work from the inside here, like grabbing this while you're kind of looking at that, so that you can push this into place and make sure it goes in the right area. I probably shouldn't have put the battery back in first because now it's kind of in the way a little bit, but get that pushed in. Okay, yeah, let me see if I can take the battery out still. So we got that. I'm going to pull this to the side, pull the battery up. Same thing with this side, and oops, it clicked back in. There we go. Okay, so we'll take that out, and here you can see that. I don't know if I'll be able to show it. It's really hard to show this portion, but you basically got to push that in, and then you can click the clips down. Okay, so make sure to get this in, and then while you're doing that, then you can push down on this to click the clips in. So, all right, and then you want to double check. Make sure all of this looks good and lined up. All right, and check on the other side. Make sure that's good. It helps to kind of have it flat on the table and then kind of push on this. But make sure you're only pushing on the frame area. You don't want to push too close here and then damage that control board. And now we ended up getting all these smudges all over the screen, which sucks. But there we go. That's pretty much it. Very simple to replace the screen. Again, hopefully this video helped you guys out. If it did, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. And if it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. Again, if you can't help that way, it would help a lot if you could watch a few of my other videos and then like and comment on those as well, because that's what the algorithm likes to see. Other than that, that's pretty much it. Oh, and this light actually comes on now, so that's kind of weird. All right, thanks for watching. See you all in the next one. Let's drop this. Bye.